7 from the 12.
Zach Ertz out wide, one-on-one.
Clement flares out to the right, caught over the middle and into the end zone. Zach Ertz for the touchdown. And again, all you can think back to now is the Jesse James play with Pittsburgh. Does he complete the process?
I don't know. That ball comes loose, but at what point is it loose on the ground?
Gets inside McCourty, who stumbles. Ball pops out.
I'm not even taking a guess.
No.
It as he was rolling over, it looked like that's when the ball came out. Does he control it when it gets off the ground?
He has control of it here. Ball pops out. Al Riveron is the head of officiating. I'm sure in Pittsburgh they're going, are you kidding me? If they call Jesse James back, what are they going to do with this one?
I think they have to overturn it. Now, the question was he a runner? Was he going to the ground in the process of the catch? If he were a runner and crosses the line and dives, it would have been a touchdown. But if he's still a receiver going to the ground in the process of the catch, I think this is incomplete.
Yep. If I had to guess, I'd say it's going to get overturned. This drive began with 9:22 on the clock, taking off 7 minutes. Now, if it gets overturned, it's going to make it 4th down. And in all likelihood, the field goal unit comes in.
The question in my mind was he going to the ground in the part of the catch?
If you're a runner, it's one thing. If you receive it, it's another thing. If they rule that he was a runner, it's going to stand.
After review, the receiver possesses the football, becomes a runner, breaks the plane of the goal line. The ruling is confirmed. It is a touchdown.
They have to go for 2. Julie Ertz, soccer star, just watched her husband get into the end zone.
Here we go. Well, we know what their first 2-point conversion play was. It was the reverse. They scored the touchdown on the pass to Foles. You know they have at least 3 in their hip pocket. We're going to see number 2 right here.
Burton comes in motion to the inside. Foles rolling, throwing, and it's incomplete. Intended for Clement. He was covered there by Van Noy, so it remains a 5-point game. 2:21, the 2-minute warning, and a timeout. He's got all day. 3 possessions for New England in this half. All 3 have resulted in touchdowns.
What a game.
11 game-winning drives, 4th quarter or overtime. 5. In other words, all of the games that he has won, the Super Bowl games he has won, he's had a comeback. Does he make it a half dozen?
3 straight 75-yard drives for Tom Brady for touchdowns. Can he do it a 4th?
White in the backfield. Starts with the pass to the outside, Gronkowski, and he will step out of bounds. 2nd and 2.
Uh-oh.
Brady gets hit. The ball is out, and Philadelphia has it. Derek Barnett comes away with it. Brandon Graham was one of the guys who got in there. And it's New England's only turnover of the game. And it's the first sack of the game.
Just like the New York Giants back in the day, taking an outside pass rusher in Brandon Graham and putting him inside against the guard, Shaq Mason, pays huge dividends with the first sack fumble of the game. No question, that ball is out.
That stands absolutely no question. The rookie Barnett, their number 1 pick out of Tennessee.
Number 73 is reporting as an eligible receiver. 73 is eligible.
So 2:09. New England has a timeout. The clock can stop twice. They can take a timeout. You can also have the 2-minute warning. They can limit Philadelphia to a field goal. It would still be a 1-possession game. It would be 8 points. New England would be out of timeouts. 2:09. Ball at the 31-yard line. Keep it on the ground. Make them take the timeout. LeGarrette Blount to the 28-yard line. 2:03. That took 6 seconds. And there's your final timeout. It will stop once more at the 2-minute warning.
Here he goes from the defensive tackle position. Ordinarily, he plays outside. They have been working him more and more on the inside for that very reason. Get your best pass rushers on the field. That allowed Chris Long to get on the field, Barnett on the other side, and it has been so frustrating all night long for this Philadelphia Eagles defense, and yet with everything on the line, they finally get to Brady.
Nick Foles on the sideline. Brady checking the replay.
I've seen this movie too many times to think this game is over.
2nd and 7. Swinging to the outside. And still charging is LeGarrette Blount. So that takes us to the 2-minute warning. It comes with officially 1:56. It'll be 3rd down and 5 on the other side of the break in Super Bowl 52. Brady gives it up. Here it is again.
I'll tell you, Brandon Graham has a reputation of relentless effort. And Jerry Lurie said, yeah, we're playing the Patriots. This is not over.
Yeah, he was in the movie business. You're right. He's seen this movie before, too.
Now, do you have the guts to throw it one more time, or are you just taking that clock?
3rd down and 5. See what Peterson calls here. Keep it on the ground, give it to Blount, and stuff him at the 28-yard line. So that's Butler. Now they can take the clock all the way down to a little over a minute. So Peterson says take the clock all the way down and take the timeout right here with 70 seconds.
30-second timeout.
There it is. The Lombardi Trophy. Does it make its way to Broad Street? The main drag in Philadelphia?
They have had some parties for championships there, but I've been around Philadelphia football fans. This might be the biggest one of all. They bring this thing home.
This is the capper. I mean, the Phillies and the Flyers and the 76ers all had big-time parades. This would be the capper.
You can assume nothing here. The snap, the hold, you know whatever rush the Patriots have, you're going to see it right here.
46-yard attempt. Lovato to snap it. Donnie Jones to hold it. It is good. Big time. 65 seconds. So Elliott to kick off. Dion Lewis, and here he's a guy, we saw him on a Sunday night in Denver. Run one back for a touchdown, and this is returnable from the 6-yard line.
Wow.
He's going to flip it back to Burkhead, but he's going to get wrapped up and knocked down back at the 7-yard line.
That is a really interesting call. Going to come with the reverse, back the other way, short kick, gave him an opportunity, but oh baby.
Yep. And you took several seconds off the clock as well.
I think that was part of the reason they kicked it short. They wanted that clock running.
So from the 9, he's got to go 91 yards and convert a 2-pointer. And Brady begins by slinging one to an open receiver, and that's Hogan, but he can't make the catch. Brady under pressure, flushed out, slings it across his body and incomplete. Intended there for James White. It'll be 3rd down and 10. It was Derek Barnett putting the pressure on.
I can remember in the Super Bowl, I can't even remember which one it was now, but there was a play at the end of it where Brady was sort of in this situation. I think it was against the Giants. He sort of looked right, pump fake, moved a little bit right, and then threw a go route back across the field to Randy Moss streaking down here, and it was close.
That was the first game against the Giants. Brady now, under pressure, almost gets sacked, incomplete. Pocket collapsed. They're down to their last play to try to keep it going. 4th and 10.
Fletcher Cox finally with the pressure that made a difference. So these big guys, it's taken them all game, but back to back, their 2 best pass rushers, their 2 best players on this defense coming up big. Chris Long's been a factor too.
This is it for New England. 4th and 10 from the 9. Brady fires, and that'll keep it going. Amendola up at the 20-yard line, but the clock keeps on ticking.
What a catch.
Yeah, tremendous. Now Brady's got to get up there, clock it here. 26 seconds now, and still 78 yards away. Brady, short pass. Gronk was just trying to get out of bounds, and he does. Now you got 20 seconds. Ball at the 33, 67 yards away. Brady. Now he's going to throw short. Gronkowski needs to get out of bounds and does.
There he is.
Boy, oh boy. Almost pulled a little Stephon Diggs routine there.
Wow.
Stayed in bounds. That took 7 seconds off. Now you got 13.
Nobody in.
Now they got 3 DBs back at the 20. Brady fires, and it's almost picked off. That took 4 seconds. That's Darby, intended for Philip Dorsett. And you've got 9 seconds.
I would rather have 2 shots in the end zone here than that 9 yards.
And then you pray for, if not a completion, at least maybe you get a defensive pass interference call.
There is nobody anywhere close to as tall as Rob Gronkowski. I would jam him at the line of scrimmage. I would not let him run freely off this ball.
Brady under pressure, escapes the sack, launching one for the end zone. It's a jump ball, and it's incomplete. And Gronk was there. And time runs out.
This is the end of the game.
And for the Philadelphia Eagles, the long drought is over. Finally. Last championship, 1960, pre-Super Bowl era. And the Philly fans, the dream has finally come true. Lombardi Trophy going to Philadelphia. For Tom Brady, a Super Bowl loss, just a phenomenal game.
There were a lot of unbelievable plays in this game. But for my money, it came back to the call by Doug Peterson on 4th and 1 on the goal line. He was relentless with his play calling. He never gave an inch. But this came very close. They do not jam Gronkowski off the ball, and he is going to get a shot.
This is similar to what happened in the Giants Patriots' second Super Bowl when Gronkowski was in the end zone. The ball is up for grabs.
It was that last bounce of the ball. One of the Eagles deflected it back up into the air, and it looked like the Patriots had a shot, but they just couldn't get anybody to the ball.
Another game, another Super Bowl game that ends on the last play. The underdogs in all 3 postseason games beat Atlanta, destroy Minnesota, rout them, and tonight come away with a 41-33 win. That's Philadelphia on the last play of the game. at Xfinity Live, and they will get ready for a parade. For Bill Belichick, a Super Bowl loss, 5 wins, 3 defeats. Nick Foles, Saint Nick is what they were calling him. What a story for Jeff Lurie, who's owned this team since the mid-90s. It finally comes true, and there are the Crafts, Robert and Jonathan, watching the last play of the game. What tension, what emotion, what a game. Presentation of the Lombardi Trophy and the Super Bowl 52 MVP when we come back.